Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. Today I am back in my Northshore Zoo, and I just want to say first, sorry I missed an upload, and also that my upload before that didn't have narration. Here's the thing, I started streaming, and I've been doing that like 3 or 4 times a week, and doing that so often has made me realize that I still need to adjust my mic settings, and so I keep adjusting them after every single stream. And then when I finally went to record my YouTube videos, I realized that all the adjustments that I've been making have been on my Twitch OBS profile, and all of the settings don't carry over to my profile with all my YouTube stuff on it, so the mic settings there were just exactly the same as what they had been. Very annoying. So, I don't know. I made some adjustments. It's not quite as bad with my YouTube videos because I can adjust the narration in post, and so I can take out any like extraneous noises. I can clean up the sound a little bit, and that makes it fine. But when I'm recording live, I'm just still having so many issues because of the setup in my room, and like, I don't know, somehow, even though my house just has myself, my husband, and our 2 cats, it just feels loud. I just feel like there's so much background noise in my videos. I do live in an apartment building, but it's just always been like that for me. My cats are quite rambunctious, and so they're doing something. Especially of the moment I have to do something, like I've got the door closed right now, and it's not a guarantee that they will behave and let me just get through this recording without trying to rip open the door. Which obviously I can't let them do because we live in an apartment. So yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. In terms of the build, I am slightly worried that I might have to reduce my schedule a little bit going forward. I'm going to try really hard not to, but there is a chance that I won't have videos ready because I am now at the end stages, and I kind of didn't build as much. I'm in the part where I'm adding a lot of details that I don't record. And so I just don't have the footage ready. So I've got about half of, and you'll see in the background of this video, I've got about half of the city boardwalk done. And so I'm going to be working on the rest of that today, hopefully. And when I finish that, I will be able to get my episode out for the next... Oh, I'm sorry, you won't be seeing my boardwalk in this episode because this is the Lighthouse episode. So I'm very excited to share the Lighthouse with you. So I do have actually one more video planned. So yeah, there's one more completed video and then the boardwalk. And then that's kind of where I am at this stage of my building. So hopefully I can get more building done by next week when I need the footage ready. But yeah, today I am working on the lighthouse and a couple of things I wanted to know about the lighthouse. So I do have a number of blueprints. I also, in my campsite episode last week, I had a blueprint. I started using just a couple blueprints from the workshop. I figured since I'm trying to reduce my workload with this one, I would just go to the workshop and try to get some things that will make it easier for me, like these huge things that I kind of wanted to build. One of which was a shipwreck. So I went through and I found this amazing shipwreck, and I will put the creator's name on the screen here. It's also in my zoo. I made a sign for it so that people would know I didn't make that. and I'll put it in the description as well. If I remember, I'll try to link it in the description so you can just go get the workshop item yourself from the Steam. Yeah, I put the shipwreck out in the distance near my lighthouse because I figured that would be like a lot of lighthouses, especially in like the northern parts, because it's so rocky and icy there, and the coastline is so difficult to sort of navigate. They have those big lighthouses, and they have them specifically in front of areas where it's quite rocky. Ships know to avoid the coastline in that area or whatever. I believe anyway. And then I think they have like a signal system for where the good dock is or whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, it's so that's a blueprint, and then the other blueprint that I took from the workshop, 2 different ones actually. I found 2 different rock blueprints for like large structure rocks, because I just feel, I think rock work might be my least favorite thing to build in this game. It's just so tedious. I do like the way it looked, and like I love the way my waterfall, my shelf rock turned out, and my mountain set. Like I really like when my rock work looks good, but the idea of doing it for the coastline especially, is so when I've already done the cliffside, just made me feel very exhausted. So I ended up just going and finding some blueprints on Steam for some rocks, and I think that turned out really well. So I again will put those 2 blueprints on screen here, and then I will also put them in the description as well, and I will make it as easy as possible for you to find that. But yeah, as you can see, this is a long episode. I worked a ridiculous amount on this lighthouse, and I cut a huge amount of footage. So if it seems like it's jumping around, that's because it is. I just could not possibly fit all of the footage for this build in unedited, and I've just kind of blanketly decided that I don't want to do 2-part episodes anymore. I really don't care how long something took me to build. It just doesn't feel good to not have a conclusion to my episode. I just don't like it. So I'm gonna from now on just go forward and condense whatever footage I have into one episode. If it took me long enough to build, like if I have the footage for 2 episodes worth, then it's a good bet that not all of that footage is very exciting. It probably took me a long time to sort of nitpick the building's layout and whatever, and so yeah, 1 episode going forward. So here's the Lighthouse episode, quite condensed. I tried to cut out mostly the actual building of the framing, framing the building. I tried to cut that out, and I tried to leave in as much as possible some of the detail work and some of the landscaping and things that I did, so that you can kind of see how I did these things. And anything like less generic, I also left that in. Like I built a little shed area that you can see, and then a little bit later I'm gonna build a little, I don't even know what you would call it, like a greenhouse almost, but a mesh one. So the idea for this lighthouse, I should say, is that it's a botanical garden as well as a lighthouse, which, you know, is somewhere that I feel like I have visited as someone who grew up in the New England area. I have been to a lot of botanical gardens that look like this. And a lot of them tend to be on the coastline as well for this like New Englandy area. And so I have this little botanical garden. I should mention, I did also end up putting in swans, which is not something that I planned to do. I thought I was going to be done with my habitats, but ultimately I thought that the swans really fit the vibe here, and so we're just kind of geese and swans are so very common in New England as well, so it's not out of place to have the swans roaming around. um, and I thought it would be a nice draw to get the guests up to this part of the zoo because, you know, their AI is annoying, and if there's nothing up here, they won't venture all the way out away from the entrance. Though I am hoping. See, I had such a problem with my Summit Sanctuary Zoo, I think because the way I built it, that the entrance was sort of in a corner and then everything else was out from that. So the things that were on the other corners were just really far for the guests to get to. But in this case, the entrance to the zoo is like basically in the middle. It is at the end, but it's like at the middle of the outer edge. So hopefully that will mean that they're like more willing to spread out. We'll see. I opened the zoo before and the guests didn't seem like they were having too much of an issue, so I'm not too worried about the guests in this one. I've also made decent progress on my Mystery Lake Zoo, and so I've been doing that on my Wednesday streams, and once I think I decided I don't want to do a speed build for that zoo. It's just a little too, there's not, what do I say? There's just not all that much going on. A lot of that zoo is just rocks and trees. So, and me trying to like position things just right because it's a recreation, not like a creative project that's coming from my random inspiration. So because of that, I think that zoo would be best served just by having maybe a tour towards the end. When that's done, I think I'll do like a really nice cinematic. We'll maybe do some like comparison shots between the two games that I can film, and I think that will be a much better format for that project to be showcased in, rather than this one, which is like a whole zoo that I'm going through to build. But in any case, I do have my other zoo projects coming out as well. So I have been working on things. It's just the point of the projects is kind of at a at a slow point, which is why my videos are a bit slower to produce at the moment. I did get to show off my zoo on stream. I had a lot of fun doing that. I didn't want to show off everything because that would have taken probably hours. I did show off the lighthouse a little bit. I don't know why, but I went with green for my accent colors for the lighthouse, and I just thought that that looked very... It looks very traditionally New England, and I don't know why. The green and like the teal blues on buildings. Not like a bright teal, but like a very green sort of teal. I just feel like I have seen those colors, especially the copper, the worn away copper green. That's also something that is very common. I don't know why we have this color scheme for our painted wood. It's just, I have seen so many green painted wood buildings in the New England area. So overall, I thought it turned out really great, and I got to use this lighthouse for some of my starting soon screens for my Twitch channel, so that's been fun. Well, I don't know though, I'm gonna come up with some new projects soon as well. I obviously have a full list of projects that I've discussed here, but I guess when I say come up with a new project, I mean I'm gonna decide which one I would like to do next. Because there's so many options. I have just really been itching to do a regular zoo project, though. I've been putting a Pinterest board together, and that's been crazy. By the way, I've been posting my things on Pinterest, my Planet Zoo builds, and yeah, I have like a lot of views on Pinterest. Let me look. I'm gonna look right now. My monthly views is up to 10.6 thousand views on Pinterest for my Summit Sanctuary build. So that's been cool. I'm just happy that people see my stuff and think it's cool. I've had this instance before where I was scrolling on Pinterest and I found a screenshot of one of my own builds that I had never uploaded. It was probably from the Steam Workshop, this screenshot, to be honest, because I think I did upload it there, or I might have put it on Reddit as well one time, so it could have been from that. But yeah, somebody else, somehow it ended up on Reddit. Or on Pinterest, rather, and I just happened to come across it on my own, and I was like, oh, well, this looks familiar. This is mine. So that was interesting. So I figured, you know, if I'm coming across my own work on Pinterest, then I probably have a pretty good shot of uploading my work and having people enjoy it as well, and I was correct. And it's been fun. I think right now, since I'm not working, at least outside of the house, I'm really gonna lean into my creative projects. That is my part of my income source right now, and so I think it's a good idea. I've never... I feel like I did give YouTube a shot for like... I was just looking back actually, I uploaded every day, almost every day, for like about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and then I started to get spotty, and then I disappeared for months at a time and would come back and upload a video and whatnot, and obviously those first year or two were not very good production wise or any skill wise. Like I didn't have any confidence to do YouTube or anything like that, and so I just feel like if I gave it an honest go now, I could build a little community for myself. I don't have like crazy, stupid dreams. I don't expect to be a full-time content creator or anything like that. I think it would be nice if my hobbies could fund themselves. So I think it would be great if I could make enough money from my gaming in whatever form that is, like YouTube and Twitch and whatnot, to always fund my gaming, to buy new games when I want, and to be able to, you know, maybe upgrade my computer when I need it, get new equipment when I feel like it, just to be able to like have a fulfilling hobby that can pay for itself would be great. And similarly with some of my art stuff, I would also just, my D&D stuff. D&D is kind of expensive if you're the dungeon master, and I won't say there's an expectation for you to have all of the material, because certainly players are willing to pitch in and it's a team collaborative game, like that's expected, but I do feel like it just helps build a community so much more if, as the dungeon master, as the sort of leader of the community, you have access to everything that somebody would need to come into the community and play the game the way that they want to and all these things. And so being able to buy books regularly with the money that I make from my D&D games would be also great. Books are expensive. And so I would just love to, you know, be able to fully afford my hobbies and not ever like worry if I'm taking away from my other responsibilities by spending a lot of money on my hobbies, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my goal. It would be great if I could maybe work towards that goal this year and like make some real progress. I'm hesitant to put a full goal on it, like a number or anything, but I do want to monetize my YouTube channel this year. It seems a little silly that I haven't been able to yet. It's obviously my own. I'm not blaming YouTube or anything. It's just my own fault that I have not put the effort into it properly to be able to do that. And you know, my live streams on Twitch, I've been having a lot of fun with that, so I think I'm going to keep that going, and I think that'll help build the community up because Twitch is obviously built for interactions, whereas YouTube is built for passive enjoyment, which is great. I love making the passive content that I can just sort of put out when I feel like I have a good project to put out and like all these things. I like both. That's the thing. I really like YouTube. I like making YouTube videos. I like making my speed builds. I also like making content for the Long Dark, for the record. I just need to get back into my game. I've been feeling very inspired to do that recently, so I think I will be. But yeah, I like YouTube, but I also have really been enjoying Twitch. I talked about it before, why I didn't really jive with Twitch when I tried it before the first time, but going into it this time, I can already feel the difference of just how I'm approaching it and my enjoyment of it, you know. So that's where I'm at. Again, very, very long episode. I do apologize for this 30+ minute episode, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you guys here and I will catch you in the next video, which should be on time. And if it's not, then I am sorry. I am so horrible at procrastinating. Yeah, I hope to see you in the next video though. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I will be posting Planet Zoo videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and I live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings Pacific Standard Time if you care to catch me live. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!